It is true that for some people, but that's a very small minority. It's like winning the lottery or something that you can actually function on that small amount of sleep. And it's not only uncomfortable or less productive sleeping that short time, but it's also dangerous for you. It will increase the chance of getting cancer. So research has shown that if you sleep less than 6 hours compared to more than 7 hours, you double your risk of cancer. So, and we didn't know that earlier. Sleep has been important in the medical school, maybe only the last 10 years that we learn about this and understand the importance of sleep. So it's really a dangerous thing. And it doesn't even help you achieve your goals. You're not performing as well if you're underslept as if you have been sleeping well. So it's it's a short-term solution maybe for, a couple of weeks and a month, but over a long time, you're not going to do well.
So what's that magic range? You mentioned 6 hours
Hmm.
and below is bad. So above 6 hours, between 6 and 8 kind of thing?
Yeah, so 7 hours would be probably the best. Somewhere around 7 hours, maybe 7.5 hours. It's all individual, so it may depend on yourself. And what these watches and rings do is that they find out how your body and your physiology is working. Because even if an average best would be 7 hours, the average for you could be 6.5 or even 8 or 9. So you need to take into consideration your bio individuality. And so that is important. But for most people, it would be around 7 hours. And that would be 7 hours effective sleep and not just the time in bed. So your wearable would show you how much time you have been actually sleeping. And that's usually, at least for me and for most people, maybe half an hour less than I would think. So, for me, 7 hours is a good number.
No, I know I'm one of these people who goes, okay, I'm gonna go sleep, and I end up just lying there for a while. How does one train themselves to kind of block everything out and go to sleep right away?
Yeah, so you must have a strategy and you must reduce your stress in the daytime because usually it's too much stress in the daytime that will just go on into the night. So what you have to do is the last 2 hours before you go to bed to calm down, dim the lights, read a book. You don't have to be unproductive or do nothing, you can read a book, like Warren Buffett famously reads, so and so many hours a day. So you can read a book, listen to an audiobook if that is if you prefer that. But just calm down, dim the lights. Light is very important. So we have a center in the brain that will detect the amount of light. And if you have too much light on in the evening, it will keep away melatonin, which is the important hormone that helps you fall asleep, but also do a lot of important processes while you're sleeping. So dim the lights and then stay away from caffeine, at least after noon, 12 o'clock. You should stop caffeine because it will still affect you into the night. You will still have 25% of the caffeine you have at 12 o'clock, still have it in your system then 12 hours later. So it will reduce the chances of falling asleep. And even if you fall asleep, the amount of deep sleep, your sleep quality will not be as good. So that's important. And also, you should not have a meal close to bedtime. It should be at least 3 hours from your last bit of food until you go to bed. Of course, no alcohol. That is the worst thing you can do for your sleep. What more? It should be rather cool. It should be maybe 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit in your bedroom. So if you manage to implement these things, that is important. And it's also important to have a good sleep consistency that you go to sleep and wake up at more or less the same time every day. That helps your brain go more effectively into the restorative sleep mode in a more effective way. So that is maybe the most important thing you can do. According to Whoop, I have the Whoop band on my right wrist here, and they take in information from the users And they say that sleep consistency is the most important thing to have a good sleep hygiene.
I can just feel all those coffee lovers going, "No, afternoon, I can't have any coffee."